Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems, data sufficiency problems, that is, for GMAT out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, 12th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You should be able to find it at mba.com. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 274, page 274, data sufficiency problem, number 25. Let's take a look at it. Number 25. Let's see what they have to say. It says, Carmen currently works 30 hours per week at her part-time job. All right. So right now she's working 30 hours per week. They go on to say that if her gross hourly wage were to be increased by $50, how many fewer hours could she work per week and still earn the same gross weekly pay as before the increase? All right. So $50 increase in hourly wage. Let's see what the first statement tells us. This is a data sufficiency problems, and this is something I forgot to do this before I started the clip, so we're going to do it right now. The mnemonic that we use, and for those of you who do not know the meaning of the word mnemonic, mnemonic is spelled with an M in the beginning, which is silent. Mnemonic simply means the mnemonic device. The mnemonic device that we use, the mnemonic that we use to keep track of what these answer choices mean in these questions is 1, 2, Ben. 1, 2, Ben. Let's change the color. We have the black. Let's see if I can find the red. One, if you feel that statement one, only the statement one, only is an operative word. If you feel that only statement one by itself is enough to answer the question that is being asked, and statement two by itself does not do the job, in which case the answer will be A. If you feel that only statement number 2 does the job and statement 1 but does not do the job by itself, job being answering the question that is being asked, in that case the answer would be B. If you feel that you need both information from both the statements together to answer the question, in other words, information that is given in statement 1 is not enough by itself, and the information that is given in statement number 2 is not enough by itself to answer the questions. But putting the two information together, putting the two pieces of information together from statement 1 and statement 2 is enough to answer the question that is being asked. In that case, the answer will be C. If you think that statement 1 by itself is enough and statement 2 by itself is also enough, in that case the answer will be D, which stands for either. And finally, if you decide that neither of these two statements are any good in answering the questions, they are worthless information, useless information, you cannot answer the question that is being asked by either of those statements, then in that case the answer would be E, which stands for neither. There you go. Okay, we're gonna leave it alone there. So this is the data sufficiency questions. The very first thing you should do in the data sufficiency questions, as a habit, is to write down A, D, B, C, E. And again, if you do not know what I'm doing here, A, D, B, C, E, you hear me going around saying this thing all day long. A, D, B, C, E. What is it going on here? If you still do not know, go and watch this video, GMAT data sufficiency intro, in which I explained this whole routine of A, D, B, C, E. Let's look at the first statement. Her gross weekly pay is 225. Current weekly pay is 225. Well, they tell us that she's working 25 hours per week right now. So if I know that she's working 25 hours per week and I know that she makes $225, I can figure out her hourly wage very easily. Just divide 225 by 25. Is she working 25 hours? She works 30 hours, not 25 hours. So let's do it then. 225 divided by 30. So I'm going to divide it by 3 first. 3 goes into 22 7 times. Then remaining 1 goes here, becomes 15, that's a 5, and then I have a 0. So that's the 750. I hope you understood what I did. I'm going to do it one more time if you like. 225 divided by 30. So first I divided by 3 instead of dealing with 30. There are 7 threes in 22. So 7 threes are 21. And the remaining 1 goes and joins this guy, becomes 15. And that's a 5 threes. So that's a 5. And then I have to divide this quantity here again by 10 because I'm only taking care of 3 so far. If I divide by 10, it becomes 750. So she's making 750 right now. If she's making 750, I'm doing all this work unnecessarily. You understand? This is enough information. Let me explain one more time what's going on here. So I'm going to erase this part here. If you tell me, if we know that her current wage is 225, we can divide her current wage with the current hours as we just did here, which we didn't have to do that. I was just doing it out of curiosity. And we can very easily figure out that she's making $750 an hour. Well, if she's making $750 an hour now, and she gets a $1.50 increase, which means her new hourly wage is going to be $9 an hour. And the question simply is, how many hours does she have to work in order to maintain her income that she had before, which is $225, which is very easy. You just take your 225, her current income, and divide it by 9. 9 is her new hourly wage. And that will tell you how many hours she needs to work now after she gets a $1.50 increase. So the answer is, what was the question? How many fewer hours does she need to work per week and still earn the same gross weekly pay as before she got the increase? We can figure it out how many fewer hours she needs to work, because once we divide 225 by her new hourly wage, we will know how many hours she needs to work. We know that before she works 30 hours, we take the difference of the two, and that will tell us how many fewer hours she needs to work, and that's it. So first statement information by itself is enough. If the first statement in the first information, if the information in the first statement by itself is enough to answer the question, that tells us that the answer cannot be B, C, or E. All of this part I'm doing out of curiosity. I don't know why I'm doing it, even though I tell you not to do it. So since I started, I'm going to finish it very quickly. There are 2 9s in 22, because 2 9s are 18. 18, remaining 4 goes and joins this 5, becomes 45. And 45 divided by 9 is 5. So that's 25. So there you go, that's your answer. These are her new hours. New hours. So before she was working 30 hours, now we just found out that if she gets a $1.50 increase and if she wants to maintain her same wage as before, which is $225 per week, then she can just work 25 hours and still make the same amount of money. In other words, she has to work 5 fewer hours. We didn't have to answer that. That's not what this is all about. The question simply was, is there enough information? The answer is yes. Let's do the second statement. An increase of $50 would represent an increase of 20%. All right. $50 equals a 20% raise. Second statement tells us that the increase of $50 would represent 20% of her current gross hourly wage. But that's actually even simpler. So if I know that $50 represents a 20% increase, if I were to divide both sides by 2, that tells me that 75 cents must represent 10% increase. Well, if 10% of her hourly wage is 75 cents, her hourly wage must be 100% would be her current hourly wage must be 10 times this amount, which is $7.50 an hour, which is exactly what we found in the previous statement. The informations are always consistent. If working on the first statement you found out that she's making $7.50 an hour currently, the second statement is all of a sudden she's not going to start making $6 an hour or $9 an hour or $13 an hour. It will be always consistent, as I said. So if she's making $7.50 an hour here and you find out something else other than $7.50, something has gone wrong. Either your work that you did here is wrong or the previous work was wrong. They are always consistent. So that's it. So her current wage must be $7.50. And again, I'm doing this thing work unnecessarily. All you have to realize, this is what we need to realize. All we need to realize is that if we know that $50 represents 20% raise, that from that I can figure out what must be the 10%. If $50 is 20%, 10% must be 75 cents. And if 10% of her hourly wage is 75 cents, her hourly wage must be $7.50. And if I know that she's making $7.50 now, and she's getting a $50 increase, her new hourly wage would be $9. And if she wants to make the same amount of money as before she was making $225, and if she wants to make the same amount of money, with the current salary being $7.50 an hour with a $50 increase, she's going to make her new hourly wage is going to be $9. Dividing this by this will tell me how many hours she needs to work with the new salary, new hourly wage. And once I have that, I subtract it from the old number of hours she's working, and that will tell us how many fewer hours she needs to work. That's all. So second statement by itself is also sufficient. The answer in this case is D. The answer is D, which stands for either. It stands for either. And that's all. That's all it was. I hope I did not explain too much. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, I tutor face-to-face. I also tutor over the internet via Skype, and online that is. And I also tutor over the telephone. It does help. It does work. If you wish to get hold of me, if there is anything at all that I can help you with any aspect of the GMAT preparation, I do the whole exam. If you need to get hold of me, go to my website at www.prep.gmat.com and send me an email. Or you can go to www.keshwaniprep.com and send me an email. If Keshwani Prep is too much for you to remember, then here's a generic URL. It takes you to the same website. Alright? Thanks.